Welcome to the fish room. Today we'll be working around here, working in here. I've got some fish and some plants just arrived this morning, and it's not quite the fish room tour, but we're working in the fish room and making it better one step at a time. But I did get some new fish. Right here in this box I've got some nice little fish and some plants that I'd like to plant today. Alright, so let's open this thing up. I'll try to do it right here. I've already taken the tape off, but alright, so these little rainbow fish that I got were on sale. So 12 of them for a really low price, so you know. And I already have a few of these rainbows, and I want to try to breed some more. And to breed more, the more you have, the more eggs you'll get. So that's why I got myself a bunch more. And these here are the 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗶𝗀𝘀𝗀. Not much color on them through the bag right now, but you can see the ones in my tank have some pretty nice colors. Definitely one of my favorite rainbow fish at the moment. I've got 3 small type rainbow fish. I've got the 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, which are also known as the butterfly rainbows, and I've got the 𝗯𝘂𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, which are also known as the red neon blue eyes, and then I've got the 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝘀𝗀𝘀𝗀𝗀, which I don't know if they've got a common name, or the 𝗯𝘂𝘂𝘀𝘀𝗀𝗀 rainbow fish, or the Pacific blue eyes, I think is what they're called here in Japan. These guys are really cute and they're beautiful. Let's take a look at some close-up. So this here is the bunch, the group that I've got currently. You can see 3 amazingly beautiful males right there. The 3 yellow ones, those are the males, and then the rest that don't have much colors are the females. But you can see just a wonderful fish. They're always so active and always just go crazy for food, and I'm trying to breed them right now. So I've got them in this tank. Then down below over here I've got the 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀𝗀𝗀, also known as the spotted blue eye rainbow fish, or in Japan we call it the butterfly rainbow fish. But you can see, beautiful, beautiful fish. I've got 2 pairs in here, so 2 males and 2 females, and yeah, I want to breed more of these too. I've got to focus more on them because recently I haven't been focusing much on this rack. I've only been feeding them and not doing much with the eggs and stuff, so this is something I want to focus more on moving forward. And then in this tank you can see I've got a bunch of red neon rainbow fish, the 𝗯𝘂𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, and they are just incredible. One of the most beautiful small nano fish out there. Just incredibly beautiful. Alright, so I'm going to slowly acclimate these guys into this tank. It's an empty tank, and I'm going to keep them in here separated from those guys because I don't want anything happening to those guys. So kind of quarantine and giving them a new tank. And yeah, let's see what happens in the long run. Next up, we need to take a look at the plants I received. And these are some, well, it's only 3 different types of plants, but they're kind of special, kind of unique. Not the most common plants ever. So let me get these out of the box and I'll show them to you. Alright, look how nice this is packaged. So the first one here, I believe this is Rotella Florida Sunset, and I'll put the full name on the screen right here so you guys can see it. But it's a pretty unique Rotella in that its leaves are quite thin and narrow. So this is immersed grown, and we'll be trying to grow this, propagate this immersed. I'll probably keep 2 stems to try and grow submerged, and then the rest we'll do outside. And then the next one here, this I already know is 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 I got 3 of it. It's not the cheapest. I got 3 stems. I mean, maybe some of you might think it's cheap, but 3 stems for around $7, $6, $7 around there. But yeah, pretty beautiful plant. Immersed, you can't really see any of the beautiful patterning on the leaves, but when this thing grows submerged, it's one of the most striking looking plants. So, 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝘀. And then the last one, right here, you can see how large this is. This one, I've actually got some of this already, but it's growing, but not very prolifically. So I wanted to get more immersed grown so that I can propagate these immersed. This right here is 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀𝗀.
The next day.
Alright, so we've got the 3 containers, 𝗲𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀𝗀𝑔𝑒𝑠 in here, and then the 2 other plants. Then check out the rotalias that have been growing here. This is a 3.5-week update now, I believe, and you can see how nice they're doing. I'm starting to take the tops off because they're strong enough now where they don't need to have lids on anymore, so I guess we'll take this one off too. Yeah, look how nicely they're growing, and I'm slowly starting to run out of space here, so I'm going to have to build another rack for my immersed grown plants, and I've got some more over here. Now we're going to do a little bit of work out here because I want to get this. Hold on, before we talk about that though. This is update of the hair grass and the Monte Carlo there, as well as glossostigma, and then we've got some rotala growing in. I believe that might be rotala HRA, but I'm not exactly sure, so I've got to take that, grow it submerged, and find out what it actually is. Then I've got another one here as well. I wonder what this one was. Oh yeah, these are the ones that weren't doing too well, but they're slowly starting to bounce back. So I'm leaving them out here. And yeah, it just rained today. But I want to get this plant. This is a green water tank that I'm hoping to grow some baby fish outdoors. But this right here is a plant that my neighbor had. It's a type of arrowhead plant, and I can't remember exactly what type it was, but this little grasshopper, locust, or whatever it is, keeps eating the leaves, so we gotta get this thing set up. You can see how much the roots have grown. They weren't this long, so just floating them in here, they've grown a lot, and today I want to kind of put it in a pot, and we're going to use this pot. They're almost like the same pot, but this one I want to use for rice fish. This one is actually leaking, so that's why, yeah, we're gonna put it in here, and then we're going to put this into our goldfish pond over here. And you can see there's some rice fish in here as well, swimming with the goldfish. The goldfish are hiding right now, but we'll probably see them later. I've got this water lily. Hasn't flowered for me this year. When it flowers, I'll definitely show you guys. But I want to get that arrowhead plant somewhere in here, probably in one of the corners, or maybe around the center. I'll move this thing a little bit over here. But yeah, let's get this thing set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out. This, if you remember from a few videos ago, I had my Polygonum growing immersed, but it was so dry, no rain for many weeks, and I wasn't watering this thing, so it got crunchy, and you can see it kind of died back. But I'm sure if I leave this, it'll most likely grow back because there's still a root system left in there that's strong enough, so I know it will bounce back. I just want to put it in another in a separate container because I want to use this for my arrowhead. So let's get this thing set up, and yeah, I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Alright, so just for now I'm going to get this Polygonum, or what was Polygonum, into this little container. So I'll probably just dump it. Let's see if the whole thing will come out. Oh yeah. Alright. Check this out. Take a look at this. So you can still see here that there's a bunch of roots. All this white, those are still roots that are alive. So I'm sure this thing will grow back in no time. All I've got to do is just make sure to water it. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this and water it daily. Yeah, and then we'll get some soil in here and we'll plant this little thing. Just a little sprinkle of dirt, potting soil, whatever you call this. Just a bit. The rest is akadama soil, and you can use whatever soil you want. It doesn't have to be akadama, but Alright, I'll slowly, carefully put this thing on top of that cinder block. Alright, so I've done some work out in the garden and with the pond. I'll show you a little bit more of the garden in just a moment. But you can see green water. Nothing really I can do about that right now. I could do a big water change, but I think it's okay. The rice fish are probably happy with the green water because they won't get eaten by the goldfish if the goldfish can't see them. I am thinking about maybe getting a solar pump for this, or a solar fountain, just a small one, so that we get a little bit of circulation. But I can't really put a proper filter on this setup because I don't have any power outlets around here, so that will be basically impossible. But as for the garden though, you can see I've slowly started to make more space out here so it's more accessible, more easy to walk and move around. Here as well, you can see the path, these rocks over here. This is where the path line was, so it was this really narrow space to walk and it was really tough. And today what I did was I moved it back a little bit, so now it is like twice the size, twice the width of walking space. So I'm really happy with this so far. I've got to keep going all the way back, and then I've got to clean this section up because this is just all the rocks that I've dug out of the ground or that were just left in this garden. So there's so many of these rocks. I don't know what to do with this. I wonder if someone will take them from me. Now this is the other side of the garden that I don't show too often because there's really nothing back here. But this side as well, you can see all the rocks that I've accumulated piled up in these little containers, but just so many I don't know what to do with. And you can see there's like more all over the place that I've got to clear up, and I want to clean this section out one step at a time as well. Really happy with the work done today. I'm super excited about these guys right here, the 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀𝗀𝘀. They are just such a beautiful looking fish and so active, and they all seem to be doing really well right now. I just fed them and they're so active. Wow, and look at them, already starting to color up, those yellow colors, beautiful. And this here is the group that I already had. You can see slightly larger, slightly more colorful, but yeah, same as those guys. And a quick update on the African cichlids. This plant will be moved out, so don't worry. I know many of you want a planted African cichlid tank, but I don't really like a planted African cichlid tank. I just want algae to grow on the rocks slowly. But the good news is that you might see a little breeding container there. I pulled out one of the fish. It took me about an hour to get him out. There's so many places for him to hide, but I got that fish out and she was holding a bunch of babies. Take a look at that. We got 7 babies. Not a huge amount for an African cichlid, but these guys are still pretty small. They're not fully grown yet, so pretty happy with getting 7. I hope I can grow these out. These little guys are already eating some very finely crushed African cichlid food. I just went ahead and used this mortar and pestle thing and grounded up a bunch of African cichlid food, and I've been feeding them. So they're only 2-3 days out of the mouth of the female, so hopefully we can get them to grow big. Subscribe if you're new to this channel, and I'll see you guys next time.